All right, it's that time of the week. Let's get to your emails. Trying something a little different, not voicemails and not two or three audience questions, but just kind of a run through the email. Some people who like me, some people who don't like me. We've gotten used to that. First email is from Jesse. Jesse says, David, did you notice how Fox News was so careful about not giving medical advice when it came to COVID vaccines, but now they are unashamedly promoting ivermectin, a deworming drug, despite the lack of conclusive evidence of its effectiveness in treating COVID? Whatever happened to talk to your doctor about your unique medical situation? Yeah, it's not actually just with this. I mean, when we still didn't have reason to think that hydroxychloroquine was an effective treatment, prophylactic or for active infections of COVID, you still had Sean Hannity saying, some guy I talked to, some doctor, says take it with a Z-Pak and zinc. You had Laura Ingraham talking about it. She was talking about it even relatively recently. It's not unique to ivermectin, and these are just the hypocrisies. We are about small government non-interventionism, except we want to ban masks, mask mandates, and we want to ban vaccine requirements, and on and on and on. You guys know the drill in terms of the hypocrisy and the double standard. And this is a particularly dangerous one. And we see it having its effects. We talked earlier in the week about a police officer, police captain, in fact, who was on ivermectin, didn't get vaccinated, died of COVID. And there are many examples of the same. So it's very dangerous. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. Part of it is people are drawn to conspiratorial thinking and the idea that the truth is being hidden from them and you have to find who will give it to you. The idea that the truth will come from right-wing corporate media network Fox News is sort of funny on its face. But that is the situation. And you're absolutely right, Jesse. Let's go next to an email from Christopher. Christopher says, is it in the interest of anti-vaxxers to be so loud about their beliefs? If you don't want a vaccine, you should be hoping that the vaccine uptake is really good, so it will be less likely that there will be mandates. Yet most of them are against lockdowns, masks, and evangelize as publicly as possible about how vaccines are bad, creating a situation where they will be under much more pressure to get a vaccine. Can you help me understand what their strategy is? Thanks, Chris. Well, Chris, you've pointed out one of the main inconsistencies or absurdities of these right-wingers throughout the pandemic. They want to end the pandemic as soon as possible, but they refuse to do the things that will likely help us end it. Socially distancing when reasonable, masks when logical, vaccines when available, mask your kids in school until they can get vaccinated, right? All of those things. They say we want to end we want to end everything, but we're not going to do anything in order to help make that happen. And what you're pointing out is absolutely brilliant. If it were really about we don't want to get vaccinated, let everybody else do whatever they want, they would be best advised to shut the hell up, let people get vaccinated, and so they can slip under the radar unvaccinated, which is what they claim that they want to do. But many of them say it's not really about them. They say it's about tyranny. They say it's about government overreach. And so they will claim that it's not just, I don't want to get vaccinated. It's no one should have to get vaccinated. And that's why they oppose the requirements, mandates, whatever the case may be. You're right in that if they just wanted to be left alone and don't care about others getting vaccinated, they should zip their lips and just quietly not get vaccinated, hope the vaccination rate goes to 80, 85, 90%, and then no one's going to come to them with a requirement. Employers are less likely to, schools, whatever the case may be. Their actions are illogical based on what it seems like they want. Really what they want is attention first and foremost, and also to feel like they've won with regard to their political view. It's not about just, I just don't want to get vaccinated. Their behavior should be different. You're 100% correct. Let's go next to an email from Cynthia. Cynthia wrote in and says, hi, David, I really enjoy your show and love the work you do. My sister sent this TikTok where a man claims a woman is selling fraudulent vaccine cards and having them registered in the system as vaccinated. I looked it up online and it seems to be a pretty widespread problem. This is falsifying our vaccination rate. And it also begs the question as to whether regions where vaccinated people are hospitalized at a higher rate should have their vaccination sites subject to investigation. I thought it was an interesting and alarming topic. It would be interesting to hear your thoughts on the show. So I basically have two thoughts on this. There's a micro thought and there's a macro thought. At the micro level, even if a vaccination, I don't know that it's true that when someone gets a fake card, it's being entered into the system. I don't know that. If it is true, I don't know that a vaccination card entered into the system in this way necessarily actually counts towards the vaccination rate. I just don't know enough about it to know for sure. But the most important thing is, although the fake vaccination cards are a problem, I don't have reason to believe at this time that they are such a problem mathematically that it's actually throwing off our vaccination rate. I think I saw earlier this week, we're up to like 52.3% fully vaccinated. Every 0.1% is a lot of people. And I would be shocked if the number of fake vaccination cards is even remotely enough to affect those numbers. I'm not saying it's not a problem. People should be punished and seriously for doing that. You're essentially falsifying a federal document when you take the seal of the CDC and say, I've been vaccinated, here's my vaccine card. But I don't know, Cynthia, that I'm so worried about its effect on the vaccination rate necessarily. I'd have to know a little bit more about that to be able to say for sure, but disgusting nonetheless. And remember, the craziest part is with the vaccine so available, it's easier to just go and get vaccinated. I got my flu shot a couple of weeks back or about a week ago. And the pharmacist was saying, you know, they're going to be rolling out these third doses. The CDC is going to be recommending it by group based on need. We have so many vaccines. We're opening up to everybody. As soon as you get to your 8-month mark or 6-month mark, if they decide to change it, you can just come and get vaccinated because we have so many vaccines. It's easier to just get vaccinated. All right. Next email is from Alina. Alina says, hi, David. I'm in Allen, Texas, just outside of Dallas. One of the football coaches just died from COVID. How is the school handling this? There's a mandatory, look at this. There's a mandatory in-school pep rally Friday morning before the football game Friday night. Approximately 5,000 kids in one room screaming and shouting. Allen High School is holding an indoor pep rally. Students who do not wish to attend can check in and go to the cafeteria instead. How backwards are many of these states and counties and towns and school districts and whatever? Someone dies of COVID. So to fire people up, you bring all the students together indoors, many of whom I don't know exactly, you know, if it's middle and high school, you might have 11-year-olds there who can't be vaccinated. My guess is a lot of the 12 and 13 and 14-year-olds there aren't vaccinated anyway, but anyway, because Texas is a relatively low vaccinated place. Stuff them all in a room and say, hey, let's cheer ourselves up and remember the coach who died of COVID, like maybe some of us are going to because we're holding this stupid pep rally. It's unconscionable what is going on at this point. Unbelievable. Kent wrote to me. Kent said, consider, has sci-fi tech become today's reality? At the very least, it's more manipulation by the people controlling Trump. Puffy face, recall the movie Face Off, but more in context is G.I. Joe Retaliation. Kent asks, are we really seeing the real Trump? Are these interviews pre-recorded or digital creations which help explain the randomness of his responses? His indirect responses to an interview questions are because they matched recordings as close as they could to the scripted situation. This is really conspiratorial. Where is the real Trump? Is he being controlled in public with drugs and electronic devices? Is someone else in his skin by cosmetic surgery? No, Kent, no. We are seeing the real Trump. He's just kind of a doofus. That's all that's going on. Often the simplest explanation is the right one. I don't think that there is some kind of CGI Trump or that Trump's rallies and interviews are deep faked. I think the guy is that much of a buffoon. A few people wrote to me about the swollen face, doctors writing to me suggesting what it might be. It's very speculative. I won't even go into it. But there are natural explanations for all of the strange things we are seeing with Donald Trump. I believe it is the real Trump. There are people who have been saying it's not really Biden. Biden died and it's a new guy. No, I think it's the real Biden. I think it's the real Trump. All right. Lastly, from Patrick. Patrick is really mad at me because I said something bad and I might be dumb. Patrick says, YouTube is not left wing. Are you stupid or just a puppet for the left wing shills? I saw you on Joe Rogan and your skepticism to remain neutral is an idiot's stance. I don't even know what he means. Yes, YouTube is so far left, you can't see them from the middle. If queers want to exist, I don't know what this has to do with anything, then non-queers will invent language for them. Oh, this is related to the Carlos Maza thing I talked about with Rogan. Then non-queers will invent language for them, and calling someone a queer little Mexican is totally in bounds according to their rules. And you left-wing effers are going to stop being hypocrites and stop applying your double standard. Or you will suffer the hell you are asking for. Carlos is a gay little Mexican. And if you don't know any better, you can thank Jesse Lee Peterson for the clarification. I would refer to you as the little gay Argentinian. Wow. So very, very didactic and erudite and articulate analysis there of my appearance with Joe Rogan. And this is what we're up against, folks. These people have jobs. That could be your accountant. That could be your neurosurgeon, if you can imagine. I mean, okay, probably not, but it could be. It could be. That could be someone teaching your kid. Think about that for a second. All right, my friends, we have a great bonus show for you today. Sign up at joinpacman.com to get instant access to the bonus show. The normal rates for membership are really cheap, but I'm always willing to make it even more enticing. You can use the coupon code BETTER21 and save a bundle off of the membership of your choice.